That's right. I'm a wandering.
It's a whole it's a shake. That's how you want to shake. Ow! Ooh!
Well, excuse me. Where can I get myself a drink?
I'm working again for this Wandering Barman guy. Work is a stressy place. It's why you go for a drink after work to suppress all those horrible feelings during the day. Why? Two things. One, you. That's your fault, man. You chose a job where you could not drink. Why do you think barkeepers are so awesome? Because they went into a career where whenever stress happens, they can have a tipple and get drunk. Two, cause and effect. You drink because of the effect of the stress. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the effects of stress. You're not dealing with the cause of the stress. The cause of the stress is in the workplace. So I'm going to tell you 3 ways on how to enjoy a tipple. 1, get yourself a little spray bottle. Now this stuff, you fill it up with grain alcohol. Next time you're having a little meeting. Hello Jimmy, how you doing there? Sorry I couldn't make the meeting the other day. How were the figures? Excuse me, I had a very garlicky spaghetti carbonara at lunch. Please continue with your big boring ass figures, you absolute dodgy bastard who ogles over the secretary every time and don't you forget I don't see it. 2, a big ice cube. It's made with vodka. Now, you add a little bit of soda water. Guess what's happening? You're walking around the office with a conspicuous sparkling water, getting steaming, which gives you, my friend, the confidence to go ask that guy on a date. You know the guy you've been looking at for a long time? The guy that microwaves his tuna fish sandwiches because you've got bad taste in men. Third of all, the creme de la creme. Campari dust. This is essentially Campari that's been set on fire. You get a little cake. All you do is you mush that up, you put it on, you sprinkle some Campari dust onto your lunch. No one will be any the wiser. If you're still looking for ideas and what it's like to get drunk on a regular basis, this is a small tutorial in what it's like to be shit-faced.
Genau mein Wetter. Genau mein Tag. Genau mein Kneipe. Genau mein Dame. Genau mein 5 Minuten. Genau mein Abendessen. Genau mein Gespräch. Genau mein Party. Genau mein Bett. Genau mein Bier. Wie das Land, so das Schotti.
Where can I get myself a drink?
Why the fuck are you watching The Wandering Barman? Why are you interested in alcohol? Well, let me tell you why you're interested in alcohol. You're interested in alcohol because alcohol, as beautiful as it is, gives you the fear. We've all been there. We've all had one too many. We've woken up with the fear. What did I do last night? Oh, I can't believe it. Did I do something last night? I was an arsehole. I can't believe it. Yeah, you were an arsehole. That's because you are an asshole. It's nothing to do with the alcohol. The alcohol doesn't create all of a sudden a kind of douchebag within you. All it does is enhance the arsehole that already exists. That's a fact. Second of all, when you wake up with a fear, it essentially makes you aware of the mistakes that you've made, which makes you aware of regret, which makes you aware of self-reflection, which then makes you aware of emotional progression, which then makes you into a better person. I'm going to make you a Pim's Cup. Now what you have to understand is Pim's Cup comes in the kind of region of aperitivos, the kind of drink that you have before a fancy meal. There's the Hugo, which are for posh bastards. Yes, I would like a Hugo, please, barkeeper. I would like some champagne, some sparkling water, and a little elderflower splash of, therefore. Thank you very much, sir. And then you've got the Aperol Spritz. That's pure JKville. That's pure. All right, darling, give us a fucking Aperol Spritz. You want an Aperol Spritz? You want an Aperol Spritz? Give me 4 Aperols. What are you drinking, mate? Yeah, what are you drinking? Aperol? Give him an Aperol Spritz as well. Aperol fucking Spritz. And then there's the middle of the ground. The middle of the ground is the Pim's Cup. What you need to do is you need to get your ice. Ice is always very, very important. Man, that is what we want. Then, now this Pim stuff is only 20%, so that means you can throw that away and you can just pour to your heart's content. What we want to do is we want to throw a wee berry in there. Another wee berry. Another wee berry. And then we take a wee stick, because you're going to need this stick to fish out all these things at the end. You just place it lovely like that. We take a couple of slices off. And it's the third slice. Oh, look at that. Fresh ginger ale. No product placement here, but Thomas Hendry, if you want to give me some free shit in the future, don't worry about it, man. I'm here for you. Push in that little ribbon there. Nice and beautiful. Just in there like that, right? We'll leave that aside. Now that looks beautiful as it is. It looks beautiful. It looks summery. It looks casual. It looks hot. It looks posh. But we need one last thing. We need a wee bit of apple in there. And we get rid of the pip, make a lovely wee fan. Oops, just like that. Look at this. Look at this. This is bloody beautiful, man. This is exactly what we want. Fucking hell. That is beautiful. I introduce you to one of my regulars. He's one of these guys that kind of thinks he knows absolutely everything. You see the bitter taste that you get with gin tonic? It's called quinine. It's 1850. A British botanist called Charles Ledger is sent down to South America to try and find quinine, which is supposed to cure malaria. And he keeps sending seeds back to the British government. But what he didn't know is that quinine, right, the active ingredient in tonic, it's very hard to find, and the potencies are sometimes very low, sometimes they're very high. So he keeps sending these seeds back to Britain. None of them are working. He runs out of money and he has to go back to Britain, but before he does, he hires a Bolivian tracker called Manuel Inca Mumani. Now he's a cool guy because he's got the local lingo. Local authorities not happy. They capture him, they torture him, they starve him, and they release him. Soon after, he dies, unfortunately. But before he dies, he sends some seeds back to Charles Ledger up in Britain. Ledger goes to the British government and says, I've got more seeds for you. Now, this time, British government are sick of Ledger. So Ledger's sitting there with some seeds. He says, you know what? I'm going to give it to the Dutch. Because the Dutch in the late 1800s and early 1900s had a total stronghold on plantation. They had a factory in Amsterdam, they had a factory in Indonesia, down in Java. So he gave them the seeds and they proved very potent indeed. And then World War II happened. The Germans seized Amsterdam and the Japanese seized Java. No longer did the Dutch have any seeds. No longer did they have the stronghold over malaria. The last plane to fly out from Indonesia was an American plane carrying 40 million quinine seeds. So they sent this guy down called Raymond Fosberg, an American botanist, who tracked the Bolivian jungle to try and get more of this quinine. He sent back £12.5 million. It wasn't enough. But in that journey, there was 2 corrupt Nazis following him through the jungle. And late at night, in his cabin, he got a knock on his door. And it was the Nazis from Amsterdam who had pure quinine. And they struck a deal with Fosberg. They said, look, we want you to take this quinine back to America and give it to your troops in Japan. Why? Because if you guys surrender in Japan, all those troops are going to be on the German front line. We need you guys to stay at the fronts of Japan. Next time you're having a gin tonic, tell that to the guy beside you. Lafrong is a really smoky tea. It's like pipe tobacco. And if you infuse it with vodka, maybe just for 12 hours, you get a really smoky scent. We're going to make this a strong one. We're going to put in 50 mils of this infused vodka. This cocktail is going to be stirred, not shaken. Essentially, it's got no citrus in it, so it doesn't really need to be shaken up. It can just be slowly diluted with the ice, releasing some of that flavour and still making it really, really strong. Then we're going to use 10 mils of vermouth rosé. Sometimes the white vermouth can be quite vinegary, and sometimes the red vermouth or the sweet vermouth can be too sweet. And this rosé is just a perfect mix. And then we want 10 of ginger liqueur, and this is going to give it like a little bit of spice. This is going to bring the sweetness to the party. Then we're going to go for a little dash of the black walnut bitters. So we want to get in here like that, a nice good old stir. Now you can even see the colour changing as it's diluting. And what this is doing is all that flavour is being exasperated by the dilution of the ice. And then what we want is to take a little taste. Oh my goodness. Lovely cook glass. Now look at that colour, man. Now that has got old man written all over it. You just want to add a little bit of orange zest. There we go. Boom. Oh. But a very smoky tea. Very velvety. Very kind of smooth. Doesn't catch the back of the throat. You could almost drink it too quickly. Right now, we are going to go to our next regular. This guy, he's a bit of a weirdo, man, so make sure you give him a lot of attention. I need to start thinking about the more intricacies of life. The smaller things. Like the Italians. The Italians are great, man. Their purpose of life is food. I had my Italian friends round last week. I was making them some Scottish food, and it was only then that I realised that Scottish cuisine is basically prison food. Shepherd's pie, mince and tatties, haggis, neeps and tatties. My Italian pal was sitting at my dining table. He's like, Chris, what have I done? What is this? Why you give me such food like this? There is no oregano, no rosemary, no sage, no love. I was like, chill out, man. I threw 2 oxo cubes in there, man. All good. Relax yourself, right? I used to work with this guy. And I used to ask him what he had for lunch. And it was like, oh, Chris, I had the focaccia. I had the focaccia with the granaccia, the pesto, and the guacamole. Oh, my God. I was like, what's focaccia? Focaccia. I was like, I don't know what focaccia is. Focaccia? How you don't know focaccia? Focaccia, Italian bread. I was like, dude, wait a minute. I don't have the same palate as you. I don't have like a southern Italian palate. You forget where I come from, man. I come from Cumbernauld, right? I come from the outskirts of Glasgow, man. I grew up in the late 80s, 90s. My palate is Gas Mark 5. All I know is turkey drummers and beans, right? Don't be talking to me about fucking focaccia, mate. This is the thing. The Italians have got such a purpose around food that when you've got a little depressed Italian boy at 10 years old going to his mum, Mama, what is the purpose of life? She takes him by the hand, she goes, my darling, the purpose of life is this. She points to a table full of food and mozzarella, olive oil, osso risotto, botagra, galata, bread, wine, beautiful things. It makes you strong, it makes you healthy, it makes you smart. And the most beautiful thing of all, you're with your family, you socialize, you laugh, you talk, you don't think about the future, you don't think about the past, you're always in the momento, my love. This is life. You do that same shit in Scotland? Mum, what's the purpose of life? Take the dog out his last walk and get to your fucking bed! The only time Scottish people care about food is when there's a power cut. The only time, man. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning, the whole house falls silent, no electricity. You just hear your mum diving out of bed, hoodum, running down the stairs, with a sixth sense that everything has been turned off. She kicks open your door, boof, Chris, kitchen, now, electricity's off, freezer's off, food's defrosting, we need to eat. You're coming round the corner, man, there's prawns on the go, 2-year-old lasagna being put in the oven chips, there's iced drinks, there's a melting Neapolitan ice cream, only with the raspberry in the middle, and you're coming round the corner, fucking in your dining room with all your family, candlelit, like some sort of incestuous, eyes wide shut party. The show, man. We had our regulars, we had some cocktails on the go. Right now, man, all us performers are in a bit of a kind of weird situation. We don't know if it's all going to pick up in the next month or we're going to have to wait until the end of the year before we can start getting into proper clubs and gigs and bars and doing what we do best, entertaining you all, man. So, listen, on that note, this is a little merch stand here, man. We've got this martini, pre-made, we've got some cups, we've got a bottle opener, we have a hip flask, which looks bloody great, and we've got a tote bag. So you can buy all of these things. All you have to do is go on the Facebook event page. The photos are there, the prices are there, PayPal account is there. That's all you need to know, man. We had over 100 people watching this tonight, so thank you for that. It's Pim's Cup time, it's Martini time. I wish you all the best. Have a good night. Goodbye.